Is it live? Let me see. Live starting now. Okay. Make sure I don't see it. Make sure I do see it. Got audio. Cool. What's going on? What's happening? 90 Days of Value, day 79. Let's go. What's going on, family? It's Mr. Kingdom Cash, Charles Dyson. For those of you who don't know who I am, 39 years old, 10 children, have not worked a job since April of 2013, and been able to experience a lot of success in business, investing, and more importantly, I've helped people all over the world retire in less than 365 days. Countless people from all over the world. Um, and what I realized a few weeks ago, I thought about this. Um, I have never seen somebody, create some type of series that they explain what they did to go from where they are to an elevated place financially, right? Where they are, meaning maybe working paycheck to paycheck like I was, 70, 80 hours a week, just exhausted and not getting anywhere, going from that point to an elevated place financially. I've never seen nobody do a series on that, right? So I decided to do one. I decided to go live 90 days straight, um, giving these insights. I believe that the beginning of financial elevation is mindset shifts. It's a different way of thinking, adopting a different viewpoint. And that's what happened to me. When I started, to really win financially, it was after my mindset had shifted, right? And I took on a different approach um, to how money works, right? Because if you look at anybody successful, they think differently than everybody else. So if you adopt a different mindset, it can lead to, it will lead to financial elevation. I really truly believe that. So these 90 days of value that I decided to do, going live 90 days straight, is designed to shift your mentality about an array of different things that are extremely important and that contributes to your success. And it's been nothing short of amazing. It's been absolutely wonderful. The reviews, the views, I appreciate every single one of you guys who are tapped into these videos. But today's going to be no different. Today's day 79, right? Officially 10 days away from the 90 days being complete. Well, technically 11 days, but um, today's going to be really powerful. Traversing the road less traveled. That's what I'm going to be talking about today. Traversing the road less traveled. And I want to give you an idea of what I mean, when I say this. I was having a conversation with one of my students a few days ago, and, you know, I was expressing to her how, when you decide to elevate financially, right? And you're excited about the new information that you're receiving, that's mind blowing, right? You're learning different things about finances that are phenomenal, right? Well, I can say for my students, right? This is my student that I was talking to. I'm teaching her, um, I'm teaching my community different things about money that is really, really powerful. And she's one of my students, and I was talking to her about this. She's excited. But what happens is when you take your excitement and you go talk to somebody within your friend circle, within your family, right? And you're sharing with them the different things that you're learning, they're not going to be as excited as you are, right? They are not. They're going to look at you like you're an alien. They're going to look at you like you got 8 heads. What are you talking about, right? They won't be able to relate to the conversation, to the things that you are saying to them, because they have not read what you've read. They have not focused on growing, right? And they won't understand where you're coming from when you talk to them, because the person that they perceive you to be is not who you are anymore. You've grown. You have grown. A lot of times, this is what you need to understand. When you talk to people, you're not talking to that person per se. You're talking to their mentality. You're talking to their paradigm, right? And the way friends are created is you have things in common with them. There are multiple bridges of relation, right? You can relate to each other, right? In different areas. And when you spend time together is usually fun because both of you like the same type of things. Easy to deduce, easy deduction, easy common sense concept, right? But when one person starts elevating mentally, right? And they're growing, they're reading, they're gaining new information, they're in a community, they're progressing, they've made the decision to progress, and the other person is right here, still doing the same things that both of you like to do, right? But your the things you're attracted to has changed, right? The things that you used to do, you're not doing as often anymore. And so when you communicate with that person, you're communicating from a completely different vibration. You're communicating from a completely different frequency than they're on. You've left that frequency mentally, and they are still on that frequency. So when you try to talk to them about the subject matter that now excites you, they can't relate. They're not on the same wavelength. They're not of the same paradigm any longer. Yours grew, yours expanded, theirs stayed the same. So when I was talking to my student, I was helping her understand that this is normal. This is, you have to understand, this is going to happen. It's not theory. This is what takes place when you start to gain new information and you make a decision to elevate. The people around you will not relate unless they've already been on that frequency and you decide to come up, and now when you talk to that person, y'all can relate more. But if they're not operating from a higher frequency and you decided to operate from a higher frequency, you're not gonna connect the way you used to connect. And that's gonna happen with friends, that's gonna happen with family, right? So yes, you can feel, it can start to feel like uh it's lonely. The lie that you'll try to tell yourself is this is a lonely path, but that's not true. That is not true. There are plenty of people like you. What you really need is you need a community of like-minded individuals that are as committed to financial elevation as you. It's only lonely when you travel the path alone. This is the road less traveled. There's a reason why the 1% are the 1%. The top 1% income earners in the world are the top 1% income earners in the world for a reason. They think differently, they behave differently, they look at life differently, they look at money differently, they execute differently. Everything is done different. They wake up in the morning differently. The activities that they do in the morning are different. The activities they do in the afternoon is different. The activities they do in the evening are different. They are just different. The way they approach everything is different. It's different, right? Hey, Emily, shout out to you. I appreciate you as well. It's just different. When you choose this path to elevate financially, you need to understand how unique you are. You're different. You are different. You're not like everybody else. And that uniqueness you need to embrace. You can't be scared to stand alone if you want to get to those levels. I was watching a video on YouTube about the top 1% black people in America. It's very rare air. Very, very rare air. Billionaire black people in America. And the video was articulating how different life is for them because there is not many people to call that can relate to the things that they experience. So, yes, yeah, the lifestyle, the money, right? It's great. And this is what they were saying in the video. It's great. But they said there is a cost. You can't be scared to walk a path with confidence, with full assurance. When everybody doesn't believe in you, you have the confidence to believe in yourself and move forward without the belief of other people. And when you finally prove yourself right, when you get there, you look around and there's only a few people like you. The experiences that they experience, there's only a few people who can relate. Like, if you want that, you just got to understand what comes with it. And then I watched another video a few weeks ago where the individual was saying, it was a wealthy person, and he was saying, he was like, look, there is a window of wealth. I don't know if I agree with this, right? He said there's a window of wealth. Well, actually, I do agree with it. He said there's a window where it's not a big difference. He said that 50 million to $100 million range, there's not a big difference between that person and the billionaire, except the billionaire can buy a private jet, right? In the same way the billionaire can buy a private jet, that person with a net worth of $80 million can buy a Toyota and not even feel it. Won't even feel it. Won't have any. His lifestyle does not change. That's the billionaire lifestyle. They can purchase a private jet on a credit card. Won't feel it at all. They can purchase it cash. Won't feel it at all. Right? They can purchase any property on the planet that they want. They can purchase any island, any helicopter. Like, there is an experience at that level where there are no limitations, right? But he was saying there's a window of about 50 to 100 million where when you go beyond that, money can actually become a headache. That's what he said. He said when you go beyond that level, money can actually become a headache. You got to be strong mentally. First of all, this is going to sound crazy. I know this is going to sound crazy, right? But you just got to follow me. You got to really think about this. Guys, it's not hard to make $1 million. It's not. It is not hard to make $1 million. $1 million is not hard. And I'll say this. A lot of people not going to agree with me, but you should not set a goal to make $1 million. You shouldn't. You should not set a goal to make $1 million, because you're going to get there and you're going to realize, Well, dang, that wasn't even that hard. You should set a goal higher than $1 million if you're going to become a millionaire. If you want to be a millionaire, if your desire is to be a millionaire, you should set a goal higher than 1 million, because you're gonna blow right past 1 million if your goal is higher than 1 million. If your goal, the way our mind works, if you give yourself a lid, it will respect that lid. If your perception is 1 million is a lot of money, then guess what? It'll always be far from you. It'll always be far from you. Right? You blow right past it. Because I promise you, you're going to get there, and then you're going to realize, dang, it's not that bad. It wasn't even that bad. It wasn't that hard. Right? But the reason why I'm saying this is because if you make the decision to elevate financially, right? First of all, this is not a road that is traveled by a lot of people. If you look at sentiment, just pay attention. A lot of people are angry at wealthy people. And I was saying this to another student of mine. You can't become what you despise. I'm gonna say that again. You cannot become what you despise. There's a lot of people who lack belief, right? Who are their feeling is the same feeling I had when I was working, 70, 80 hours a week. They feel trapped. They feel tricked. They feel like something's missing. And they don't have any hope. See, my mindset was, I look around, I see a lot of successful people. I'm online. I watch TV like everybody else. I listen to music like everybody else. I see the headlines like everybody else. There's a lot of people out here making a lot of money. And my mindset was, if they can do it, I can do it. I just got to find a way to do it. I just didn't have the information to do it. So I did not feel hopeless. I did not feel like it wouldn't happen for me. I felt like I needed the answers. I needed somebody to provide the path, to show me how it's done. I did my own studying, my own, deep dive into how money works, because I knew I would get there. I just knew that when I got there, I wanted to understand so I could keep the money. Other people, a massive amount of people, they don't have hope. They've given up. They feel stuck. They feel trapped. And so when they see the same headlines I see. They see the same headlines you see. They see people running up and down the field catching a ball for millions of dollars. They see people bouncing a ball and shooting it in a hoop for legacy money, $100 million contracts. They see on the television people hit the lottery, and they think, oh, maybe I can do it too. But can you imagine playing the lottery for 15, 16, 17 years, never hit once, and every single time you play, somebody else wins? Again, you got more chances of getting struck by lightning twice in one lifetime than you do of hitting the lottery once. So it's literally the equivalent of taking your money, going to a toilet, throwing it in the toilet, and flushing it. That's what you do when you play the lottery. And that mindset erodes at your belief and your hope, because you're never hitting it. So they build this mentality where they're angry at wealthy people because they feel trapped at their socioeconomic level. They feel like they can't escape it. And there are a massive amount of people that are angry at wealthy people. because they gave up. They gave up hope. They did not continue to think about how they can change the situation that they're in. You know what I did? I started evaluating the system itself. That's why I'm like, it doesn't make sense to get angry at wealthy people because I'm talking about first generation wealthy people. We can't even talk about people that get passed down money, right? That's different. They didn't work for it. Somebody else in their bloodline worked for it and they benefited from it, right? But I'm talking about first generation wealthy. You can't get mad at first generation wealthy people because they evaluated the system, they figured out the system, and they used the system to their advantage. It's the same exact thing I'm doing. I evaluated the system. I figured out how the system works. Of course, I fell into a couple of the traps because I just didn't know any better. But once you see how the system works, you can use it to your advantage. Now, Charles, give me a little bit more. What are you talking about when you say the system? You were born into a system. This system was in operation long before you were born. That's why it doesn't make sense to be angry at wealthy people. It doesn't make sense to be angry at wealthy people unless you live in a country where there is absolutely no chance of you getting out of your socioeconomic level. If you live in a caste system, that's a whole different type of that's a different reality. It's a horrible reality. North Korea, India. India is getting better, but still, like, you're born into poverty and there's no way out. Okay, yeah, you can be angry, right? But if you live in a country where there is any chance, this is what you need to understand. This system was in operation long before you got here, down to the education that you got from first grade all the way through. It's a system, and it's designed to get you to think a certain way. It's designed to get you to behave a certain way. That's why I say all the time, The Matrix, that movie, it wasn't a movie, it was a documentary. Because when you see the system for what it is, you have a choice. Either you can continue down the same road that millions, billions of other people travel down, or you can use the system to your advantage. You can operate outside the system, right? Play the game and win. I decided to play the game ethically, responsibly, but I decided that I'm going to win. Because listen, when you sit down, if you play Monopoly with a little cousin, right? Let's say that little cousin is only 8 years old, 7, 8 years old, and you're an adult. You sit down and play that game without explaining the rules. That child has no chance of beating you. None. Why? Because you know all the rules and they don't. Do you understand? That's what you're born into. You're born into a system where you didn't learn the rules. Nobody taught you the rules. How can you win that game if you don't know the rules? It's designed for you to be exactly where you are. But how many of y'all know once you start learning the rules, that 8-year-old is not going to be 8 forever. They're going to be 9, and then 10, and then 11, and then 12. And if they learn the rules and they continue to play the game, eventually they're going to beat you. How old you are doesn't matter. Now they know the rules. You can't win a game that you don't know the rules to. But once you know the rules, guess what you can do? Win the game. When you learn the rules to this financial system and how it works, now you can play the game at a high level and win. That's what those people who are angry at wealthy people, that's what they don't understand. That's what I understood. I understood, one, you cannot become what you despise. Now, I don't got to like you, right? But I can learn from you. I don't have to like Donald Trump, but I can learn from Donald Trump. I can learn from anybody. I don't have to like the individual, but I can learn from them. I can learn. Watch this. You can learn what to do, and you can learn what not to do. You cannot become what you despise. Now, I'm not going to turn this into a political thing, but you have to understand, like, I study billionaires. I study wealthy people. Because, again, you cannot become what you despise. I'm not mad at the entrepreneur who was born. I'm not mad at the owner. I just read an article about the owner of Starbucks. I'm not mad at him. I'm not mad at the owner and or the one, not the founder, the owner of Starbucks, who grew up in the hood of New York. White man. And worked for Starbucks. Brought ideas to the upper management. They rejected it. He left Starbucks, started his own coffee company, started blowing it up. Starbucks got in trouble. He raised the money to buy Starbucks and then bought his coffee company over into the culture of Starbucks, changed the whole culture of Starbucks, and turned it into a multi-billion-dollar company. CEOs or people who create businesses, they take all the risk. They should get the reward if they can make it. There's a high percentage of businesses that fail. I think it's like 80% of all startups fail. If you're the one that makes it, guess what? You deserve to get the reward. If you can grow something. I'm not going to be mad at that. This is the road less traveled. Watch this. It doesn't take much brain power to get hired at a job, to get your responsibilities and what you are expected to do on a daily basis, to get trained on how to do it, and then go do it. That doesn't take much brain power. There is no risk in that. Entrepreneurship, investing, there's risk. And that's why the reward is greater. But if you want to be wealthy, if you want to be rich, then guess what you got to do? Business owner or investor. That's it. There is no compromising. But even though when you choose this road, let me close the loop. Even though you choose this road and other people the people around you may not understand you because you're growing, you're reading, you're getting new information, you're in a community, right? You're excited. And you try to go talk to these people that you love and that you care about, and they don't understand you. You got to understand that that's okay. It's all right. The community is where the like-minded people are. Now, this is a gem. Listen to this carefully. You don't just join a community. No, you shouldn't just join a community. You infiltrate a community. This is a different mindset. One mindset, you become just someone in a community that's learning. Maybe you're executing. You can get results from it, right? And you can change your life with the right information. But the person who has the mindset to infiltrate a community, they are somebody that's seeking to add value to the community. They're seeking to serve in some capacity. They're seeking to stand out. Right? And why is that important? Why would you want to infiltrate a community and do those three things? Add value, right? Meaning find something to do within the community that makes the community better. That's what I mean when I say add value. Serve, find some capacity that you can help the community and stand out. Be active on the live calls, the Zooms, or wherever the meetup is. Do something that causes you to stand out. Why? Because watch this. This is the part. Doing those three things will lead to great relationships. With who? With the leaders and the people who run the community that have the valuable information. You see the difference between joining a community and infiltrating a community? Right? This is what I do. This is what I do in real time. In real time. I'm doing it right now. I don't just join, I infiltrate. I join with a purpose. Because one, relationships are worth more than money. I've said this over and over again during these 90 days of value. Relationships are worth way more than money. Where does money come from? People who have higher quality information, right? And they have the heart to share that information with you. When you build quality, when you seek to, what day was that? Go back and listen to, what day was that? Day 72. Go back and listen to day 72. The title was Where All Money is Located. Go listen to that. Because you got to understand, relationships, my life changed because of a Facebook message. Shout out to my dog, Paris Simmons. Top 5 lifestyle. My life changed because of a Facebook message. And it changed again because of a Facebook message. Shout out to my dog, Corey Overton. Because of a Facebook message. Relationships are worth way more than money. You build the right relationships, the money will come. I wish I would have knew this when I went to college. Because I would have been way, if you have teens, kids, nephews, nieces that are about to go to college, please sit them down and have this conversation. If they're going to choose that path, if they're going to go that path, this is the conversation that needs to happen with them. When you get to school, be intentional about building great relationships with the right people. You'll be able to recognize it. Just pay attention. Build great relationships with the ones that's doing student government. Build great relationships with the ones that you see volunteering all over the campus. Build great relationships with the individuals that you see excelling in the classroom. Why? Because the C students build relationships with the C students too. The C students actually become the CEOs, and the CEOs hire the A students. So you need to build relationships with both the C students and the A students. You never know who somebody will become. Leverage. Build great relationships. I would venture to say that's more important than the education itself. I'm telling y'all what I know. Relationships lead to money. Great relationships lead to money. Boy, I don't just join things. That's not my goal. All right, I'll do something, right? I'll leverage, I'll become a part of something, but somehow, some way, it always happens like this. I end up in relationship with the owner. I end up in relationship with the movers and shakers. Because why? I operate from that frequency. That's the frequency I operate from. I don't come to participate. I come to dominate. I don't come to participate in anything. I'm coming to dominate. If I'm going to put my name on it, I'm going to put my best foot forward. I approach things like I can't fail. Therefore, I don't fail. I don't try. I do. Right? When I'm talking to people, if somebody tells me no, it don't hurt my feelings because I know how much value I carry. Watch this. This is powerful. If you're in connection with the right people, you carry value too. You don't even have to be the plug. You can have a relationship with the plug. And when I say plug, I mean the person, the guy, the woman, the person that has the influence, right? You can be in close, and this is a biblical principle. You can be in close relationship to the one that has the influence, and you'll win just because of that. You're in the right place at the right time. Let me make sure I quote the right scripture. I'm Googling while I'm on here. I never do this, but I want to make sure this is a biblical principle. I'm gonna prove it to you. I think I got this right. Let me go here. I want to quote this right. Y'all got to get this. Yeah. 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 Luke chapter 5. Go read Luke chapter 5. Biblical principle. Watch this. Jesus taught from the boat on the shore, and then afterwards, he said, all right, cast the net in the water. And one of the disciples was like, man, we done been fishing all this time. We ain't catch nothing, man. We already did that. But just because you said it, Jesus, I'm going to do it. See, when the mentor speaks, you should follow instructions. He casted the net to the other side of the boat, and they caught a bunch of fish. Watch this. This is the part that you got to understand. It was so much fish, they couldn't pull it into the boat. So what did they do? They started calling friends who had their boats. Hey, come help us with all this fish we caught. Those other people on those other boats had nothing to do with catching of those fish. Right relationships, right proximity. Just because they were in correct relationship. Go read it. Go read it. Proximity is important. You are powerful. When you get access to the right information, you're valuable. You are valuable. Do you understand that? I'm telling you, get the principle. Get the principle. Relationships are worth more than money. I keep a lot of things, a lot of this a secret right now, not because I want to, because I understand a lot of people around me won't understand and will project negativity based on their own understanding. Exactly, Jay. I'm going to read that again for the people on recording. Jay, my man Jay, one of my students, shout out to you, bro. He said, I'm keeping a lot of this, talking about the things I'm teaching them, a secret right now, not because I want to, but I understand a lot of people around me won't understand and will project negativity based on their own understandings. That's exactly what I'm talking about right now. This road that when you make the decision to elevate financially, watch this. Don't get upset with the people around you. Don't get upset with your family, your friends that don't understand. They have not read the things that you've read. They have not studied the things that you've studied. They have not been exposed to the information that you got exposed to. You're excited because you're enlightened. You're illuminated now. You got new information. They don't know what you know. So you can't get upset with them because when you're speaking to them, again, you're not talking to people. You're talking to paradigms. You're talking to a multitude of beliefs. And when those beliefs are limiting beliefs, of course they're going to reject the powerful thing that you now understand because they can't understand it. I'm telling you, when Jesus said the poor will always be among us, I believe wholeheartedly he said that because he understood mindset. Mindset. They won't be among us because they can't get the right information. They'll be among us because they will reject the right information. Everybody has a choice. Everybody has a choice. Do you understand? That Luke chapter 5, I'm telling you, so many lessons in that one story. Mentorship. Listen to your mentor. You might have been doing things. Why? Oh, this is so. Whoo! You might have been executing the right thing the entire time, but with the wrong, in the wrong environment, with the wrong people, with the wrong technique. Watch this. All he did was say, okay, toss the net on this side of the boat. Different environment. Different environment. They wasn't fishing with Jesus at first. Now Jesus said, all right, no, toss it over here. Now you're fishing with the right one. Now you're executing instructions from the right one. Come on. You got to get we could break that thing all the way down. Proximity with the right people. That's why who you call friend is extremely important. I don't call everybody friend. My friends are my business partners. My friends are my students. My friends are the ones elevating with me. My friends are my mentors. My friends are all money makers. I chose different. When I had broke friends, when we were doing broke activities, watching 3-hour games all the time. Now, I'm not judging anybody who watches football, basketball, hockey, baseball. Do your thing. But a whole season, every Sunday dedicated to watching the box, the TV, the thing I call the stupid box. Because ain't nothing really on there that's going to help you grow. Every Sunday, all day, the whole day? No, there's too much. There's too many other things I could be focused on that are going to be conducive and productive for my life. And I understand compounding of time. Hey Siri, how many days has it been since February 6, 2017?
Do you want me to use ChatGPT to answer that?
Siri got lazy. She just be using ChatGPT. All right, let me ask ChatGPT then, since Siri don't want to give me the answer. I called her lazy and then she just disappeared. Hey, how many days has it been since February 6, 2017?
All right, let me calculate that for you. Today is December 23, 2025. So from February 6, 2017 to December 23, 2025 is roughly 8 years and about 10 and a half months. That comes out to approximately 3,200 days or so. If you need the exact number, I can give you that as well.
Yes, give me the exact number.
Absolutely. So let me do the precise calculation. From February 6, 2017 to December 23rd, 2025, it's exactly 3,216 days. So that's the exact number.
It's been 3,216 days since I made the decision to learn how to trade. And when I made the decision on February 6, 2017, I said, I will never stop. I seen too many testimonies, too many people making amazing money from this skill set. And I made the commitment. I said, I'm going to be a trader and I'm never quitting. I'm never going to stop. And now Almost 9 years later, not one single day has passed that I wasn't looking at a chart, analyzing the market, or taking a trade. 3,216 days. That's the power of a decision. This is what I mean when I said you can guarantee yourself success. This is what I was talking about yesterday on day 78. If you missed day 78, you need to go listen to that. You guarantee yourself success by the power of a decision. That's what makes this so powerful. Relationships are valuable. And you can leverage the correct relationship. And that's why you can. One of the things that happened to me when I first made the decision, November 27th, November 2012, that was the month I sat down, wrote my 30-year plan, got really focused, decided what I wanted, decided what industry I was going to get it in, decided everything for 30 years. From the age of 26 to the age of 56, I gave myself a focus. Now, you don't have to do a 30-year plan. You can do a 20-year, 10-year, 5-year, 3-year, 1 year, whatever you want. The goal, the point is to get a focus, right? Now, watch this. The magnitude of that decision in November 2012 was I didn't know how it was going to happen. November 2012, I didn't know I was going to be a trader by February 2017. Did not know. I didn't know. But watch this. I knew that my success was predicated upon building correct relationships with people who had higher quality information. That's the whole key to elevation. The whole key is to get yourself a mentor who's walked the path that you want to walk, gotten the results that you want to get, right? And they can show you. Not the type of mentor that'll just tell you, right? Those are important. Those are valuable mentors too. But the mentor that will not only tell you, but get in the trenches with you, that's extremely valuable. Because you can, I'll say this, in November 2012, I didn't even believe all the way in myself at that point. I didn't have the faith. I didn't know how I was going to make what I wrote down happen. I just made a decision that that's what I was going to do. You don't have to have the how when you get the what. That's where people, they get hung up. They get caught up on the fact that they don't have the how. You don't need the how when you set the goal. You don't need the how when you set the goal. You just need to know the what. What are you going to do? And my mentor's belief was so high, I just borrowed his belief. His belief was so strong that it was like, all right, I may not understand, but he's already done it. All I got to do is listen to what he told me. Do you understand how powerful that is? You can borrow the belief of your mentor. The mentor can lay out, all right, this is exactly how to get what you want. You told me you want this. Okay, this is how you do it. This is how you get it. Now you can work from a position of knowing that you can get to the end road because the one who already did it gave you the path, gave you the answers. So do you have to believe in yourself when you first start? No. You can borrow the belief of your mentor and still move forward. You don't even have to know the how. All right, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I've never done it before, but he has, she has. I'll listen to her. I'll listen to him. And you'll get a fraction of the results that they got, which is better than the results you've been getting. Is this making sense? I'm trying to tell you. And I'm gonna end with this. You can't be afraid to stand alone, to leave the place where you grew up, to be misunderstood and move forward anyway. That's ooh. To be misunderstood and move forward anyway. Nobody around you is going to understand why you're making the decisions that you're making. They're not going to understand. Especially when your goals, when your goals are those type of goals where you don't have any conception, no concept of how it's going to happen. Those are the best type of goals because it forces you to grow. Their goal is big enough where you have to elevate mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and it makes room for you to elevate financially. I mean, I'm gonna say a real crazy number. If you make the goal, right? Watch this. Watch this. Perception is everything. If you say right now, all right, I'm gonna make $500 billion, you might not know how you're gonna do that. But guess what? In order to make 500 billion, what's the first thing you got to do? Make the decision to make $500 billion. What's the second thing you got to do? Make $1. You make $1, you're on the path. You see how simple that is? That's it. Just get on the path and start moving and never stop moving. Now watch this. You set the goal for 500 billion. If you only make 800 million, you missed the goal. Are you going to be upset? Are you going to be upset? You set a goal for 500 billion, you only got to 800 million. Dang, missed the dang goal. You got 800 million. Do you see the mentality? You don't have to know how. You just got to go. And you got to go now. And you got to go daily. You just got to move towards that thing every single day. But listen, people around you if they misunderstand you, cool. It's your goals. So what? It's not theirs, it's yours. Your goals are yours, nobody else's. It's your responsibility to make them a reality. And watch this. If nobody else believes, you're on the right track. You are on the right track. If everybody around you doubts what you're doing, great. Good. You're on the right track. You gotta this is what you gotta do. You gotta move forward with full assurance that you're gonna make it. You're gonna do exactly what you set out to do. Right? And watch this. The secondary thing that happens is everybody who doubted you all of a sudden will become the supporters. I always knew you could make it. The ones that said, hey, you shouldn't do that. You should not do that. I always knew you would make it. That's the story. That's the story. When they talk about you to other people, I always knew he was special. Since he was a little boy, since she was a little girl, I always knew she would make it. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. And you just got to understand that this is a road that many people won't choose to travel. This is the road less traveled. And it's not a lonely road. Don't convince yourself of that. You just haven't found the tribe of people who think like you do that's moving the same direction that you're moving. Relationships are worth more than money. Don't just join the community. Don't just join a platform. Make a decision. I'm going to rise. I'm going to be around the movers and shakers. I'm going to be the one. Y'all, I'm telling you, I was that guy. I was the one that would join the platform and be in the back of the room. Go to the events, be in the back of the room. Get on the Zoom, not say nothing. Just listening to all the money makers, all the people that's making all the money, and thinking to myself, how in the world am I going to be that? I don't know, but I got to become that. I got to be the one that's making the money. I got to get there. I don't know how. No influence. No, everybody in my family told me, no, I'm not doing that. That's a pyramid scheme. All right. Go back and listen to what day was that? What day was that? You need to go listen to this. Go listen to day 67. The title was DoorDash driver makes $1,100 a week. What is he doing wrong? I talk about a conversation I had with a DoorDash driver randomly. You're going to learn a lot from that conversation. Go listen to day 67 of the 90 Days of Value. Right? I was on that. I was the guy with no influence. I just didn't know how I was going to do it. But guess what I had to do? I had to grow. I had to get new information. I went from the guy in the back of the room to now the guy in the front of the room. I went from the guy with no influence to now influencing people all over the world. I went from the guy who didn't have any value to now one of the most valuable people in any platform that I touch. I went from a guy who didn't know how to get results to now I win at everything I do, no matter what. No matter what it is, no matter what I touch, I win. Because of a decision, because of the things I said in this video, I always win. Because I wasn't afraid to stand alone, because I wasn't afraid to not listen to everybody who was average in my life, right? And decided to believe for way above average. I decided to believe for phenomenal results. I decided to believe that, hey, that person, they're not special. They just believed in themselves. Cat Williams' recent interview, right? Humble. Listen, all the comedians, Cat Williams, Steve Harvey, all of them, Pierre, all of them. Listen to how their beginning was. Dave Chappelle, Kevin Hart grew up a few blocks from my great grandmother. I worked at the airport with Spank and Naeem, and they always Laugh House down in Philly, always down at the Laugh House every weekend, putting in work, getting good at their craft. It's no surprise that they're as successful as they are. I saw it. They came from where they came from, and they made it to where they made it to. Anybody you can look at, they're not special. They're not special. They just believe in themselves, in their abilities. They studied, they put their best foot forward, and they won. That's literally your story. You just in the middle of it or at the beginning of it. It's okay. Everybody starts somewhere. That's why when you're working, you can't, I don't get discouraged. You got to go back. It's one of those 90 Days of Value when I was talking about, like, I don't need nobody to encourage me. I wake up, my goals propel me. My goals inspire me. It was one of them early ones. Day 2. Go listen to day 2. That was a really good one. What else? Yeah, I think it was one that I did. Oh, no. I remember which one it was. Go listen to day 64. Day 64, collapsing time and skipping levels. And then another one, day 68, live life in 90-day increments. Live in 90-day increments. That one too. I talk about that extensively. But listen, if you're watching this on YouTube, you don't know what to do, you don't know where to start, go to the description box of this video and get in touch with me. I'll give you several ways to reach out to me. If you're watching this on Facebook, you don't know where to start, you don't know what to do to start making money, growing money, go to the comment section of this video. Charles, I want to talk to you. Help me. I just got an inbox message from somebody from watching one of these videos, and I told him, I said, I got you, bro. That's all I need. All you need to do is reach out, and I'm gonna help you. That's it. But I'm not going to sell you. But I will give you some powerful information, and I'll do it with you. I'll help you. We'll do it together. We'll elevate together, right? That's all it takes. I tell people all the time, if I can help you change your perspective, even if it's just a little bit, I can help you change your life. Day 79 in the books. Tomorrow is day 80. Can't wait. I'll see you on, guess what? Christmas Eve, doesn't matter. Christmas Day, I'll be live. Going right straight through 90 days. We're on the final stretch. I appreciate you. Share this out. Somebody needs to hear it. Peace and love.